Welcome back, everybody. So today we continue our world tour of my Let's Play world. And starting off at the llama village from the last episode, we are going to head directly west and cross the desert. The road goes on a long ways until finally it swings to the north. And then following at that direction, we're going to go another good distance before we finally get us to the Desert Museum City. After taking a tour of the Desert Museum City, we're going to head into the desert again and then swing to the west, going across the desert, crossing these savanna plains, heading into a small forest, and then across these plains until we get all the way over here into the spruce forest where I have a mining outpost. Once the tour of the mining facility is complete, we're going to hit the road again and head north, crossing the spruce forest until we get to this monastery. And finally, to wrap things up, we will head back to the main road, go west again, following the road through this spruce forest, swinging down to the coast and cutting across this thicker forest until we get all the way over here to Overlook Bay. In the middle of building the llama village we toured in the last video, I decided I needed a break from all this building, so I saddled up one of my horses and decided to take a trip. Off to the west, of course. So the road was added on quite a bit later, but when I started out, I just cut straight across the desert and the plains. The landscape is exceedingly unremarkable, with really nothing of note, except for a small savanna village right here where the road swings directly north. The city here started out as a really small village nestled between the savanna and the desert, sitting on this sand bank. And what was special about it was it housed a librarian who had a mending book, which is something I really needed, or wanted actually. It also had this desert temple right in the middle of the city, and a fossil just north of the city, so it's kind of a unique area with three things all right in one spot. So I set to work expanding the city, adding new housing, adding the towers, and putting some gigantic walls around it to keep the villagers safe. So we are heading over to the Desert Museum City. We're coming up here from the south, heading north, and you'll see the city. It's over here to my left. This started out as a very simple little, just a little village out there. Had a few houses and stuff. Mainly, its claim to fame is it had a librarian with a mending book, which is what I really needed, and mending is like one of the very best enchants I consider. It's almost too overpowered. But I remember back in the day before mending, you had to actually use diamonds to repair your diamond pick, and then after a while you couldn't even repair it or enchant it anymore. So mending, you can have your pick indefinitely unless you lose it or something. So we have the side entrance here. I built this massive wall all the way around. So it's basically got the same wall all the way around the city. And then each corner I put an anchor with a tower on it. Each tower is a little different. I tried to put like little symbols and stuff in there reflecting the kind of the same design you have in the desert temple. I think the best way to see this will be to go up on the wall. I did use a lot of sandstone and a lot of terracotta. Got this orange carpet all the way around, although it probably should have a bit here, basically to keep the mobs from spawning, because there's really no light up here. I don't even know if I have hidden light in here. I don't think I do, no. I think the carpet is the only mob protection we have. Like I said, the city has 3 claims to fame, really. It has a Mending librarian who disappeared at some point, and I have no idea where he went. It actually has a desert temple in the middle of the city, which is kind of unique. They usually don't spawn that close together. But so you have the desert temple here, and then the village was right here. So it's kind of like the village grew up around the temple, which would actually be more of a natural progression. But I started with, I have these few houses in the middle here, and then I just added all these extra houses around here. Kept kind of the same design with it. I thought, with terracotta, mainly sandstone for everything. I do like these little flat roofs with the crenels and merlons around the top of them. And then the other claim to fame, the third claim to fame, like I said, I've got like little faces on the sides. I tried to, each one's a little different, so each tower is a little different. None of the buildings are too remarkable. That I converted the desert temple into a museum, so we will go check that out. Everything else is just a simple standard house with a bed, and I don't even think there's workstations here. I think this is before workstations were invented, and I never came back and put them in there. But you can see it's got this little river. It runs through the middle of the town through here, and then the river continues off that way. So that gives it a little distinctive feature. Got a lot of the bamboo reeds like you would see in kind of a subtropical desert area. A few farms here and there, a little pen for animals. Got the well in the middle there. That building right there that I'm kind of circling is the main headquarters. Got all my chests and workstations and stuff in there. You can see the river's over here, and this actually spans the river. So the river actually comes through, and there's an arc down here where the river goes through. And then over here is a fossil. So that's the third claim to fame for the city. So the city had a Mending librarian who is no longer with us, a desert temple, and this natural fossil was spawned out there. So I kind of made a fossil museum out of it. So I made this entranceway, extended the city walls out to cover it so it's protected. I made up this giant dinosaur that you have to walk through. Put some armor and stuff, kind of like this will be historic stuff that we found through the archaeological dig. Put another dinosaur here with a dragon head. A tiny little dinosaur and a big Tyrannosaurus-like dinosaur. And then this one here, this is the natural fossil. I didn't touch the fossil at all. I left it exactly the way I found it. So everything here is exactly the way I found it up from basically the fence backwards. Well, except for the two guys. I've got the mannequins in there pretending to be archaeologists digging around. And then I kind of just pushed out the walls. Well, didn't kinda. I did. I pushed out the walls. I keep saying kinda. There's no kinda about it. I pushed out the walls. I built a museum here. I added in the dinosaurs. Another thing was, as soon as I built this, just the wood planks here for kind of like a display case. And that was before then we upgraded about while I was building this. And the upgrade allowed me to put the item frames on top of the logs. So it really looks like a display case. Because up until that time, you could only put item frames on the face of a block. You couldn't put them on the top. So this will be the first instance in this world where I actually used that. And I actually built the design around that. So for a while there was nothing on these blocks because we hadn't upgraded. But enough history there. We're going to head in and see the desert temple. And it is actually another museum. So this whole city is really museum. And like I was showing, you got the river here that goes right into the city. So it's got just this little opening. And come back here. Oh, excuse me. And the walls are all double walls, so they've got this passageway you can walk basically all the way around the city. You can walk through there and never have to be exposed to the outside. But here is the desert temple I've converted into a museum. So we got all the artifacts hanging on the walls, some fancy brewing stations, armor, various items here and there. They made a judicious use of the banners. And I kind of kept the architecture, tried to match it up with the temple and the existing, like this would be a naturally spawned building there. I kind of just expanded it out. This is a natural building, so I tried to stick with the same type of architecture and then use terracotta. So I'm actually pleased with the way this came out. But there's really nothing of note to look at. It's only, the only thing of note that it's just because I am noting it, is this was where the Mending librarian was. And I even built this special room. I mean, it was all sealed off where he couldn't get through, couldn't get out. There was this iron door, I believe, here, trying to keep him inside. And one day I came back and he was gone. It was all empty. So I have no idea what happened to him. So, but luckily I have another Mending librarian over at the Bay City. And I think he has a better trade than this one did. So that covers this desert city. I think now we're going to head further west over towards some mining operation I have and the monastery. And then all the way west, we'll end up over there by Overlook Bay. And so we're going to take one last look over the city. So this gives you a good, good overview. I'm pleased with the way this came out with the big, gigantic wall. I always like building giant walls around my city because it keeps all the mobs out, keeps all the villagers safe. You don't have to worry about them disappearing except when they do. So heading out from the desert city, we are following this long road westward. It crosses the sands, and then finally gets into this large savanna. This road goes on for a couple of thousand blocks, actually, with nothing to see except for the occasional bridge or two, a small desert temple, and some other very minor things. So if we follow the road west across the plains, we eventually reach this large spruce forest, and there's a mining operation right on the edge of it. So as we come out of the plains and into the new spruce forest over here, we go up the hill, and we reach our mining facility. There's a monastery down that way. The Savannah Village Museum City is where we just came from. And then Overlook Bay is that way, so we will take a look. We have another crossroads here. Crossroads awful close to each other. So Desert Museum, Overlook Bay on the beach, and the docks are this way. Really nothing to see there. And then the mine and the skeleton spawner are down here. So all this stuff is built around 2017, I think. This is all just a big cave. I've kind of walled it up just to prevent random zombies and stuff coming through here. That goes to a cave, I think. Here we go. I was just trying to find the main base. Is that it? No. And I probably haven't been over here for 2-3 years. It's been a long time. So I got a little chunky chest thing. Got my furnace array. Nether portal, which is always a good thing to have. And I bet the skeleton spawner is down here someplace. Out. Oh, the mine shaft. Okay. Yeah, I always put these little out signs in the mine shaft because I get lost extremely easily. So we got spawner over here. There's the center of the mine shaft there. Spawner up here. I'm trying to remember. Oh, okay. It has been so long since I've been over here. I didn't remember what this all looked like. But, oh yeah, there we go. There's our spawner. Probably really hard for you to see that. I may try and brighten that up in post. That must be, there's the water elevator. Oh, this is an old style, so this does not work anymore. Because it's not even a bubble elevator. It's the old style elevator when mobs used to actually float to the top. Now they sink to the bottom, so they're probably stuck down there someplace. That tells you how old this is. This no longer works. So even if I go down here and show you, or the mine shaft. I think it's down here. Yeah. Got a big chest room with all the chests and stuff. Mine cart. So if I need stuff for one of my other projects, I can just salvage it from here and probably tear this all down. Because the mobs used to land here, and then all the drops would go into the chests, and then I would just sort them all out. Like I said, none of this works anymore. So this is kind of a defunct setup. A short ways north of the mining camp, we have this small Savannah village that I have converted into a large monastery with walls and a church and everything. So coming out of the mine shaft there, if we keep heading this way, which is north, got this little path here. It joins up with this main road here. This goes up over the hill to the main road where the crossroads were. We'll just follow it this way. I got this stripy little road going through here. And I don't, it's not too far. I didn't think it was too far. So we have some sheep pens with all the different colors of sheep. Got some pig pens with all the different colors of pigs. Got some cow pens with all the different cows. A little pumpkin patch. And we are now at the monastery. This was just a little spruce village that I decided to convert into a monastery. Don't know why, just got the whim. So I've got this, I call this cloisters around here. I think that's the term for them. It's got this little walkway with all these little arched openings. And that goes all the way around the village. And the wall here is for protection, but you really can't get on top and do any defensive stuff. It's just the wall. But I think the fence kind of keeps it a little open, but more, not primitive, but rugged. Anyhow, you come in to the main proper city. Got a little room over here. So it's just basic storage. Don't even know what's in. Oh, jeez. With my typical nightmarish sorting system. I've got the terracotta and stuff in there. So I don't think there's a biome around here, though. So I must have brought that in. Oh, one of my dogs. I've got a doggy. Come on, doggy. We'll take the dog with us on the tour. Actually, no, I better. Why don't you sit there? There's another dog over there. So I got plenty of farms. Over here is the chapel, the zombie chapel for the monastery. Got the little entrance here with the chandelier. You come through the main door, and you got the little zombie, stained glass zombie window. Got all the pews for all the worshipers. And you got the big cathedral, so they can. This is before lecterns. I should put a lectern here. But this is the Church of the Zombie, and these are probably same church as built the big statue over there at the zombie island, the villager island that we looked at a long time ago. It's over by Spawn. I'd imagine the same not cult. I'm not going to call them a cult. The same group of villagers that built that giant zombie statue probably belong to this church. But that was what? Yeah, 2017. So that's 3 years ago. So they've been around for a while. Getting to the main. There's the rest outside of the church. I think that came out rather well. I mean, it's not super big and elaborate. It's more of down to earth. Something you'd find in a little village or something. But I do like the way that came out. And we have our villagers around here. These are all the natural village buildings. I didn't really do anything to them except put beds and stuff inside. And this was about the time the colorful beds came out. Because before this, all the beds were red. So this is, I guess, the colorful update. So all the beds could be a different color. I think I put beds in everybody's house. Got plenty of these just plainclothes villagers. They don't have any professions or anything. More junk. My chests are sometimes get messy. Oh yeah, I've got a little fountain area over here. Like I said, this goes all the way around. Got a couple fountains. Come back over here. Just a few more houses. Ooh, someone knocked the door off. Oh, we even got a baby. Oh, got a couple children. Oh, looks like, yes, the new ones actually have professions. These guys don't. Or at least they're dressed in proper gear for like a savannah. Lots of children running around. Oh, got a library. Lots of bookshelves there. I think this is like the... Come on in here. Yeah, this is like the most colorful one. Just a big dining hall and stuff. And I bet they couldn't get through there because of the carpet. So we'll do that. So this kind of goes around. Most of the buildings are pretty straightforward. It has the library we were just in. Looks like I've got like a mining operation going on down here. Oh, okay. There was something down there, I guess. I don't remember what that is. We'll just leave it like that. Maybe it's a root cellar. So it's just a simple monastery. All the monks here doing whatever monks do. Nothing too exciting. The main feature is this church. What's out here? Oh yeah, we have a road, but it doesn't go anywhere. There is a like a cove or a bay over there. I was thinking at some point to put something over there, but I didn't. Okay, so we are done here. So let's get moving back. We're going to head east again. So once we get back to the crossroads, we're going to go head west, actually. I said east, I meant west to Overlook Bay. And then if we actually head west again, we will go through the forest, past some extreme hills, and then on the very edge of the continent we have a lodge here which I built and named Overlook Bay because of the bay that it overlooks. So this area over here was discovered on one of my horseback rides. And it is of note that this is where I lost my horse. It's the one that I had the gold armor on that I left. I had for a while. It was my favorite horse. Well, it was really the only horse I had armor and stuff on at the time. So I rode him over here and lost him. I don't know if he died or what happened, but I could never find him. I've still not found him. I even built a little corral for him. So once I lost him, I had to hunt around. I finally found this other horse. But I do remember that. It was a traumatic experience. But anyhow, I built this little lodge here I call Overlook Bay. And really it's just a gigantic work area with a little bed tossed in the corner. Other than the big stuff, not much interior decorating done on it. It does have this beautiful deck out here where you can overlook the bay. It is quite a nice bay. I like the way, you know, with the hills and stuff. You know, it comes in and then all the kelp. Even got some fish swimming around over there. So this is basically the end of the road as far as going west. And this is where I lost my horse. I was over here. I do remember I was over here and it was getting dark, so I needed to go to sleep. So I dismounted and went and found a bed. And then when I got back, he was gone. And I don't see him anywhere. But horses are notorious for wandering off. As soon as you turn your back, they're gone. And with that note, I think we are going to call this episode of the World Tour complete. So we've covered a few things today. Next up, we are going to head back over towards the desert city and visit, we have the Citadel, we have Sunshine Hills over there, we have the Dark Tower, the Light Tower. But I've gone on long enough for today, so I want to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and hope you come back and catch the next episode. Bye-bye.